Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dul dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand. Léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche. Pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4, TV, fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone. dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir enveloppe binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number. Mun ngeen ko yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege. Pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page. Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indel gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
It's a warm welcome to our studio here in Serakunda. This is Star TV News with Momodo Bailabari. In headlines tonight, VP Ture meets ECOWAS officials, foul play suspected in Talinding workshop fires. Communities in Jara receive football aid from Qatari philanthropists. Impacts of COVID-19 on tourism sector. Munduk FC extends food aid to players. National female volleyball team gets new coach. On the international scene, new record rise in India's COVID cases, deaths curfew in capital. Uncertainty growth for UK university students over return date. As Cuba turns page on Castro era, economic reform gains urgency. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Toure, today received in her office a delegation from the ECOWAS to discuss issues revolving around hydro-met and disaster platform for West Africa and beyond. Dr. Toure subsequently held closed-door discussions with the officials accompanied to the State House by the Minister of Fisheries, James Gomez. Shortly after the engagement, ECOWAS officials spoke to waiting journalists, including our very own Modu El-Baji.
This meeting is very strategic to strengthen the capacity of all services, hydrological and meteorological services in our country, because it's very important for this service to have the capacity to collect data, to analyze the data, and to prepare the good recommendation for high markers to decide and to assure the protection, the efficiency for all population in our country.
We're here actually to brief the Vice President on our biannual meetings that we started 2 years ago on hydromet and on also the disaster platform for West Africa. And actually we can say all of Africa because our colleagues from other African regional economic communities also come to this meeting. It is an extremely important meeting, and Gambia is an important country when you're talking about issues of hydromet, looking at just our physical position in the Atlantic Ocean surrounded by Senegal with most of the country being bodies of water. Is very important to work on risk reduction and to also to work on making sure that we are able to predict floods before they come, that we are able to predict fires and other natural disasters before they strike.
A fire outbreak in Talinding has caused destructions to 3 carpentry workshops before spilling over the neighboring compound. Awasane has more.
The fire reportedly broke out in the small hours of Monday morning, and an eyewitness believed it was as a result of a foul play. There was no loss of life in the incident, but furniture, tools and other valuables have reportedly perished in it. The cause of the fire has yet to be officially established. However, Abdoulaye Jallow suspects the shop might have been deliberately set on fire by an unknown assailant.
I've seen a young man standing around the workshop in suspicious circumstances, and he left immediately after the fire broke out. This has reinforced my suspicion against him. I dismissed claims that the fire was caused by electric short circuit, as our meter was the only source of power for all the 3 workshops, and it was switched off at the time of the fire.
Sources reported that the fire began in the workshop at 2 a.m. and later spilled over to 2 other workshops and then a neighboring compound where it destroyed cooking utensils, wooden windows and other valuables. Dagasamba is a neighbor to the workshop.
I got
alerted to the fire from sleep at 2 a.m. This followed loud noise, upon which my wife established that it was a fire outbreak. It was getting out of control until the fire service arrived at 3 a.m.
Meanwhile, the proprietors to the workshop were Gambian, Senegalese and Nigerian. According to Mbai Boop, he just reported to work, and to his shock, he found out that his workshop was burnt. He said the shop was his only source of income. He, however, thanked neighbors for their efforts in quenching the fire. It reportedly took almost an hour before the fire was doused. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Awasane.
Philanthropists from the Arab nation of Qatar over the weekend extended aid to Pakalinding and surrounding communities in what was described as huge boost to household food security in the Lower River region communities. The delivery of food relief was facilitated by Qatar-based native of Pakalinding, Aliou Manjang, and was intended to support the communities through this fasting period and even beyond. Modu El Baji reports.
communities of Jinoy, Sikunda, Tonyataba, and Pakalinding benefited from the gesture, and the distribution was done on need basis, as some went home with 25 kilos of rice and cooking oil, whilst others classified as less vulnerable to food poverty received cartons of tea and rice.
We want to enormously thank Aliu Manjang, through whom this donation is made possible, and to all the philanthropists, all the donors who made this thing possible here. Ramadan is a month of Rahmah. Ramadan is a month of compassion. Ramadan is a month of giving. And inshallah, as you can see from here, about 238 families will benefit from today's or 2021's Ramadan gift from the Qatari group through Aliu Manjang. All the villagers here present, including those invited, have expressed their appreciation for this magnanimous gesture from Aliu Manjang. And inshallah, they are extending their heartfelt appreciation to all the donors through Aliu Manjang for this magnanimous support and gesture that they continue to appreciate, and will always continue to forever pray for the donors.
Various beneficiaries said they were grateful about the food relief, especially coming at a time when food prices have been shooting through the roof. Fatumata Conte spoke on behalf of the women of the beneficiary communities, and she prayed for the donors whilst urging them to continue reaching out to those in need, especially during Ramadan. Similar sentiments were re-echoed by Fabakari Fati of Tonyataba. Meanwhile, this is the second time the people of Pakalinding benefited from similar gesture from the friendly people of Qatar through the instrumentality of a Jara native, Aliu Manjang. For Star TV, I am Modu Elbad.
As the 2020-2021 tourist seasons draw to a close, the devastations of the COVID-19 pandemic to the country's tourism sector could still be felt, as our Jacqueline Colley discovers when she visited the Senegambia hotel area.
The official tourist season is virtually over, but this year's season, like that of the preceding year, could at best be described as another disastrous failure. Tourism is one of the highest foreign exchange earners for the Gambia, and the sector also provides thousands of direct and indirect jobs. However, the aggravation of COVID-19 in the country's international source markets meant few tourists and less tourist money as countries imposed travel bans and other virus control measures. The country has had to deal with some threats to its tourism development in the months to the coronavirus outbreak. The cancellation of bookings by the UK tour operator Thomas Cook in 2019 has not been particularly good news to a good chunk of the country's hotels, as 35% of Gambians working in the tourism industry face job losses. But as the country tried to lessen the impacts of Thomas Cook's bankruptcy on the tourism sector, then came the news of the coronavirus outbreak in December of 2019. A double blow to the tourism economy, so to speak. In normal times, tourists would be still enjoying the sun, sea and sun in the country in April. However, what used to be an environment bustling with life and bricks with business is literally reduced to a ghost town. Senegambia area is a home to hotels and restaurants and other places of hospitality, but it's now laying in ruins as businesses has yet to recover from the pandemic triggered destructions to livelihoods.
Since the starting of coronavirus, we have seen a lot of a very big impact, a very setback for the drivers. It's not easy. It's like we are in the dead season. The tourist season is like it's dead for us.
Meanwhile, the Gambia government, through the Ministry of Tourism, has set upon an ambitious infrastructural development aimed at promoting domestic and regional tourism. It's hope that this massive infrastructural build-up in the various regions of the country would help reduce the country's heavy dependence on its traditional source markets. Jacqueline Colley, reporting for Star TV News.
And to some sports now, the management of Munduk FC last Friday gave food provisions to its players as part of its Ramadan gesture. The players smiled away home with sugar and onions, and the management hopes that this contribution will significantly aid them in meeting some of their household nutritional needs in the month-long spiritual journey.
We are here at Mundung's FC Football's headquarters, Kombosila Drive, Serekunda, witnessing the handing over ceremony of bags of sugar and onion to their players. However, this handing over ceremony is meant to accelerate the relationship between Munduk FC and that of their players. After this donation, we will talk to some of the executive members of Munduk FC to judge their perspective regarding this handing over ceremony. I am currently with Kasim Oscar, who is the PRO for Munduk FC Football. I will begin by asking Kasim Oscar, what is the motivation behind today's donation?
Thank you very much, Modu Emel Baji. Yeah, I think it's very important to support and motivate young players like these people, Munduk FC, because when you look back to the year Munduk was formed, and now they got promotion to third division, which we are due to play this season, but due to some circumstances or some controversials, but Alhamdulillah now, very soon everything will be done and dusted, and we will kickstart our season. It is very important to motivate players, as football is give and take, kick and run. So that's why we see it necessary on behalf of the management to give out donation, especially in this holy month of Ramadan, to give out sugar and onions to our players that can also play a part in supporting them in this holy month of Ramadan.
Ismaila Saho, the team captain, is here with me to share the vote of thanks with us after receiving this gesture from the team management. Ismaila Saho, what is your take after receiving this gesture from your team management?
Well, first of all, I would like to say Alhamdulillah for witnessing another Ramadan. And as a team captain of Munduk FC, I would like to thank the team president for the well-done job he has done for us. Because we all have seen we are in Ramadan, and these things have not been easy. Some of us, our players, we don't even know their conditions. So I think it will be a great pleasure to receive these gifts from him. And I know it will have a great help to our teams, our players, even the coaches. We all appreciate it, that we are all happy about it.
Yeah, we are here today. As you all know, we are in the holy month of Ramadan, which it is very, very important to help and assist each other, especially those are within you. As you see all these young players, I could see they are all a Munduk's family. Munduk is a company that has been in this country, established company for last 18 years. And with the help of God Almighty Allah, we were able to form a football club, which called Munduk FC for last 2 years, I think in 2019. And during that formations, we have seen all these young committed players that leave their families' activities in every morning, join us in our training grounds, which is very, very important. And I could say that commitment make the team for the first time to try and qualify to third divisions. I think that's a big achievement. I will say bravo to you guys. I will not say it never happens in the Gambia, but I think Munduk FC will be in that history, a team that came in trial first year and qualified the same year to third divisions. And thanks God we are in the third division league today. Munduk company have taken a serious matter to make sure and sponsor you guys up to any level to make sure your careers are well achieved. Inshallah, as you know, since the formations of the club, the company has been putting its money to make sure that your training kits, the footballs, jerseys, all the materials that you need to continue your training, definitely the company will continue to do that, to assure you with that. All what we're trying to make you to understand, sport is about friendly. We don't form this club to be in the society provoking anybody. We want to support the youth of this nation, especially the area that we are living, to make sure that some of you can be in a high level in the international sport.
These donated items will be further distributed among the players and their management, and including their technical staffs. However, to whom much is given, much is expected. The team and the entire management is expecting to see Munduk FC at another level. Reporting for Star TV, I am Modu El Baji.
To volleyball now, the Gambia Volleyball Federation last Thursday inked a 5-year contract with Italian Roberto Fernelli as coach of the national female volleyball team. Hadi Jaju has the details of the contract signing.
The contract was signed in a ceremony held at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. The president of the Gambia Volleyball Association, Baidu Jallo, signed on behalf of the Gambia Volleyball Federation, whilst the deputy executive director of the National Sport Council, Mahmoud Lamin Jawla, signed on behalf of the Gambia government. Mr. Jawla described the signing as the beginning of another phase of development for the country's volleyball. Meanwhile, the signing of the 5-year contract came through the instrumentality of, among other people, former Gambian international and sports ambassador Tijan Jaite. The National Sports Council's Deputy Executive Director, Mahmoud Lamin Jawla, thanked Ambassador Jaite on behalf of the Sports and Youth Ministry for taking it upon himself to help in the search for the coach. Jawla said Ambassador Jaite's intervention had helped save the country from investing huge sums of money in acquiring the services of a coach. For his part, Ambassador Tijan Jaite hailed the collaboration of the Youth Ministry in contracting the coach as he expressed optimism for a bright future for the volleyball in the country. The coach is meanwhile tasked with the preparation of a training plan for the female volleyball team, as well as conducting training programs on a specified schedule, both nationally and in Italy. And according to him, he is up to the task.
I want to thank whoever conceived and created this collaboration for the former international and sport ambassador of the Gambia, Mr. Tijan Jaite, the general manager Luigi Tardioli, the president of the Gambia Volleyball Federation, and the Gambia Minister of Sport. I believe it's a great opportunity of development for all parties, for the entire volleyball movement of the Gambia. I can't wait to start working with the women's national team to prepare for the international events that await us.
Coach Ferinelli will be assisted by 2 other staff from Italy. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Hadi M. Jaju.
Those were the local stories. We'll be back with the international news after the short break.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gosh Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gosh Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gosh on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gosh Global Group on Bertel Harding Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.goshglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as Tarot's covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, Homeland Scrape, Fingerprint Home Lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dul dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4 TV fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir enveloppe binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number mun ngeen koo yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indil gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
And now news beyond our borders. Coronavirus infections have reached record levels in India. A new high of nearly 275,000 new daily cases was recorded on Monday, along with more than 1,600 deaths. The local government has announced a week-long curfew in the capital region of Delhi. Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson has just cancelled his visit to India that had been planned for next week. Scientists are studying a new variant with a double motivation to see if it is behind the rise in infections. Al Jazeera's Victoria Gattenberg reports.
India is in the grip of a second wave of COVID-19, and nowhere is that being felt more than in its hospitals. There are shortages of beds, oxygen supplies and medicine, and doctors say this time they've seen a change in who is being admitted to hospital.
What we are seeing, and this is all anecdotal or personal experience, is there are younger patients who are being admitted into hospital and are more sick than the type of disease that young patients usually have, which is mild to moderate.
India reported 275,000 new cases on Monday. That's the highest daily tally in a country that's now the second worst affected in the world. Scientists say a new variant with a double mutation may be driving up infections.
In most cases, we've only seen one area of the virus mutating from the original virus. In this case, we have two separate mutation sites, which is really concerning because, as you know, every time that we have a mutation, we're worried about increased transmissibility, increased threat of death, and a lack of ability of our vaccines to work.
Despite the rise in cases, political and religious gatherings are continuing in many places. Last week, 3 million Hindu pilgrims bathed in the Ganges River for the Kumbh Mela festival, and millions more voted in local elections in the state of Uttar Pradesh.
I think the guard was let down not just by Indians, but by Indian leaders. Massive election rallies were held, and subsequently the massive Hindu festival of Kumbh, all are contributing towards this massive surge.
Around 120 million Indians have so far been inoculated in a country of more than 1.3 billion. And with a new variant with a double mutation to contend with, India faces many difficult days ahead. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
University authorities in England are up in the arms because COVID-19 restrictions are still stopping face-to-face learning. Students who have been studying remotely since last December will not be allowed to return to campuses until shortly before the academic year ends. Many politicians fear a spike in the infection similar to what happened when universities opened last September. Universities say too many students are suffering now because of government inaction. They say while schools have reopened, higher education is being stifled. Al Jazeera's Andrew Simons reports from Staffordshire University in Stoke-on-Trent in English Midlands.
Hi girls, can you please wear your face mask?
They're doing all the right things to stay COVID secure. But while shops, hair salons and beer gardens may have reopened, university students can't get back to face-to-face lectures. They could return within a month, but it will be 3 weeks before the academic year ends for most of them.
As we've got students out there who might be working in bars or working in leisure centres, but they can't come on campus to study. And we know that they do want to come on just to finish off the year and really meet their peers, colleagues, and get back into their education in the sort of more traditional way. You know, their first year at university or their graduation year. Those are years you can't get back.
Great to see you all here again.
Staffordshire University is doing better than most. 2/3 of its 12,000 students have been allowed to return for practical reasons.
You've got 999 on.
Health and social services are among a host of courses here. They're able to use immersive technology, for instance.
We will bring in a physical patient or mannequin patient into this environment.
Elsewhere, though, a mock courtroom remains empty. Law students are at home. Many politicians fear a spike of infections, similar to what happened when universities opened last September. But several surveys dispel that fear, one of them from the Office for National Statistics, which directly reports to the UK government. They estimate up to 3/4 of students have already returned to their accommodation. And there are some who have lived on campus throughout the pandemic. Chris Steers has only recently lifted himself out of depression.
I'm not going to lie, at the first, I really struggled being on my own for most of the summer, not being able to see my family. It's tough.
Universities say too many students are suffering now because of government inaction. They say while schools have reopened, higher education is being stifled. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera, Stoke-on-Trent.
Cuba's ruling Communist Party is meeting this week to elect its new leadership and decide on its direction after its head, Raul Castro, stepped down on Friday. The government is under increasing pressure to reform its economy, which the coronavirus pandemic has battered. Al Jazeera's Trezor Bohr reports.
An island that's stuck in the past. That's the feeling people like Abel Mesa have had about Cuba for many years. He's a cook in Havana and has stopped believing in the government's so-called reforms.
If there's no radical change in the system, there is no way out. There has to be a different way of thinking. If not, then I'll have to see how I escape this place. I've been a cook for 10 years, and because of the pandemic, we have no work.
Social reforms over the past decade, including the expansion of internet access, have strengthened Cuban civil society. And many are now daring to speak out. Small protests have cropped up despite tight control by authorities. Cuba is in the middle of an economic crisis, both because of the pandemic that's hurt tourism, but also continuing and crippling US sanctions. This week, the government announced it is loosening a decades-old ban on slaughter of cattle and sale of beef and dairy. Ranchers will be allowed to do as they wish with their livestock after meeting state quotas. Luis Arturo Pérez says this will allow him to increase productivity.
For 60 years, we did not have the right to eat an animal. However, as long as I comply with the regulations that are now being imposed on me by the state, this opens up an opportunity. It will also enhance and increase the production of cattle in the country.
But economists say much more needs to happen for the country to get on the road to recovery.
The measures need to have a big impact, and they need to happen now to help develop the country, put an end to bureaucracy. I believe the new measures can be implemented, and Vietnam is an example of what we could become. It's a country that has a communist party leading and has one of the fastest growing economies in the world. You have to enter the world market and reform the economy.
People like Abel Mesa believe only political change can bring about radical reforms. And that's why he continues to look for a future outside the island, where he believes he'll be able to fulfill the dreams he says he's denied at home. Trezor Bohr, Al Jazeera.
And before we end the news, a quick recap of our main headlines. VP Ture meets ECOWAS officials. Foul play suspected in Talinde Workshops fires. Communities in Jara receive football aid from Qatari philanthropists. Impacts of COVID-19 on tourism sector. Munduk FC extends food aid to players. National female volleyball team gets new coach. On the international scene, new record rise in India's COVID cases, deaths curfew in capital. Uncertainty growth for UK university students over return date. As Cuba turns page on Castro era, economic reform gains urgency. Well, that's all for this edition of the news. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. Until then, have a very good night.